FGASA, which is the Field Guide Association of Southern Africa, presents the Safari Guide of the year 2022. My name is David Batsoffen, and together with FGASA, I'm presenting a series called In Conversation With, and my guest today, wearing a different hat from being CEO of FGASA and putting on her judging hat, is Michelle du Plessis. Michelle, good morning. Welcome to you.
Good morning, David. Thank you again for having me here with you.
It's only a pleasure. I do so enjoy chatting with you. But now today we've changed hats, or you have anyway. I haven't. And we're going to look at you from a judging perspective, rather than we know a bit about you now from the story behind the song. So let's find out what you expect from both the contestants, the judging panel, and of course yourself in the upcoming event that takes place at the end of June. So are you ready for the questions, Michelle?
I am, but there's a very big noise in the background, so I hope you can hear me.
I can't hear it at all. What is it?
Okay, fantastic. I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. How difficult was it choosing finalists this year?
Gosh, David, I've been involved with this for 3 years in terms of the finalists and being involved in those interviews. And I tell you, this year was really the toughest of all the years that I've been involved with selecting the finalists. The standard and the caliber and the nominations that we had this year was just at another level. So it was very tough.
Okay, I don't envy the panel that has to cut down to the 5 candidates. I really don't envy your job at all. If you could give the candidates words of advice at this particular juncture, because there's still what, 5-6 weeks before the event, what would it be?
Gosh, I mean, I don't think you can really give too much advice. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's not really about how much you know when you in that competition. Obviously, knowledge is important, so it's not like you need to go off and study a whole lot of new things. It's about what you interpret at that moment. So not too much advice on that side, but possibly on the advanced rifling handling side, definitely need to practice there. And on track and sound, probably just practice those items, but they do what they do. They must just keep doing what they're doing.
So if in doubt, they can't just say scrub hair for a track.
I'll leave that up to the other judges to decide.
When it comes to storytelling, Michelle, is less more?
Gosh, I mean, I can't say whether less is less or more is more. Storytelling, yeah, it's about how you captivate that audience. Yeah. So if you do it in less, then brilliant. If you do it in more, brilliant. There's no time limit on that if it's relating to time.
Yeah. So bottom line is read the room, check what your fellow contestants have done. Also depends where you're telling your story in the greater scheme of things. I mean, if you number 5 of 5 and it's now, sort of 20 to 3 in the morning, it may not be a good idea to tell an hour-long story.
That is true. But also, I think just, how the draw works as well. They draw on their slots of when they're doing what.
Yeah.
And I think, the ones that do go last, I suppose, do have a little bit of an edge because they've heard all the other stories, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter who did what. It's about captivating your audience on the night.
Exactly. How strict are you as a judge?
These things, at the end of the day, I think we are all ethical, and we need to be ethical in terms of how we judge. So I guess in terms of strict, you could read that differently, it's got different meanings to it. But in terms of following how we score and how we record it, we are extremely strict. There's no gray area there because, these things need to be and can be audited at any time. So in terms of how we score, we're very, very strict. In terms of how we interpret, I think that is why it's unique to each judge, because put us all together, we're all going to have different things that we will be strict about, possibly.
Fair enough. The candidates, we know how they are busy preparing. They're studying their birds, they're listening to bird calls, they're out doing tracks and signs, drives, maybe some shooting. How is Michelle going to prepare to be a judge?
Well, I think I have the added responsibility of all the admin on that side.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to prepare in terms of getting all the score sheets ready, making sure that the program runs. So from an admin perspective, I've got a lot of prep that I need to do, which I've already started. In terms of me personally, when I'm on that vehicle judging, like the candidates, I think we've just got to do what we do. And we're there because we have a certain skill. So from that aspect, not too much preparing, but in terms of admin, a lot.
And finally, Michelle, what is the one thing that you do not want the candidates to know about you until the event is over?
Gosh, one thing, I really don't know if I can answer that. You know, it's quite it's unique because they don't really know anything. So they won't know anything until they're there and we explain the categories and they do the draw, and then suddenly everyone kicks into sort of competition mode. Although, you know, we've said so often before, it's not, competition is one thing, it's about everything else that happens around that. So I couldn't say that there's one thing that I wouldn't want them to know about. They're going to discover it all.
Fair enough. The beauty of Safari Guide of the Year, I mean, I've been involved in 3 now with you, and I found that it's almost a non-competition competition. So yes, there is a competitive element, but the candidates don't hide from each other. They bond together very quickly. And I think that is a mark of a really good way of running something like this. So kudos to you and the team that you work with, Michelle, really and truly.
Yeah, thank you. I think that is one of our goals, you know, and the purpose is to bring people together to learn. And it's amazing. You can have people there with the most experience and with less experience, and somehow it all just brings everybody closer together. And so much so that, I mean, I have everyone begging me every year to be involved following year. So it's quite a unique situation, and we try and invite people back as much as we can.
Great stuff. Michelle du Plessis, CEO of FGASA and organizer of Safari Guide of the Year. Wish you all the very best as you go into the sort of final sprint to the event, and I look forward to seeing you in June.
Thanks, David. I look forward to seeing you too.